Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to be playing Paralysis.deck. I was playing in an online tournament the other night and happened to notice someone playing this deck that was doing pretty decent. Now, it's kind of an insane combo that Munkidori now allows, but it's pretty cool. So we have the 3 Munkidori with the ability, if there's a dark energy attached to this Pokemon, you can move 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Now that's really cool because it combos with the Articuno that for 2 water does 70 and 50 to itself, and then your opponent's active is paralyzed. And paralysis is the strongest effect in the entire game. So it's like the idea of the Articuno is you're going to knock yourself out in 3 shots. But with the Munkidori, we can heal ourselves fully every turn. So we can just paralyze forever and set up math on our opponent's attackers to knock them out on our own turn, so they're forced to promote a new Pokemon. And if they don't have anything with less than 70 HP, we just continue the lock. It's really cool. I opted for Scoop Up Cyclone because you want to get a few Comfeys down at the beginning, and you're going to want to clean your bench off for the combo because you need the 2 Munkidori and the Articuno. And it doubles as an extra switch card. You can use Greninja twice with it. You can pick up a Comfey, put it on the bench, and switch back into it and reuse it again. And we have 2 vacuums for the ancient booster capsules and any other annoying tools. We have Temple of Sinnoh for jet energies and therapy energies. And other than that, I just tried to make the deck as consistent as possible. I was thinking that maybe Prime Catcher could also be an option because you really want to be able to gust if your opponent sends up a Pokemon that you knock out in one shot. The original list had 2 boss and a pal pad, but I flip-flopped some of the cards to try and fit the 2 Pokégear. And they also had Secret Box originally, so you could try that out. It is an extra out to Colress, but I was just thinking that I can't remember any time that I was playing Lost Zone and I had 3 cards in my hand that I could discard as well as playing a card. That's why the deck doesn't really play Lumineon and Ultra Ball unless you're specifically a turbo build of Lost Zone, because then it makes up for getting rid of 2 cards by getting the turn 1 Mirage Gate or whatever. And this deck is more of a slow burn. You have a few turns, you're going to lock your opponent in the active anyway, ideally, so it really doesn't matter when you get the combo off against some decks as long as you get it off. Unless you're playing against a deck that has a bunch of switching cards, then you're going to try to attack with Cram and Greninja and Sableye and just take 6 prizes the normal way. But that's the deck list, and let's check out the games. Alright, so we lost the coin flip and they opted to go first. We're up against the Quad Iron Thorns deck. I saw a Crushing Hammer and an Eerie in the opening hand. They just attach Pass, that's really what you expect. Flower selecting. You kind of have to keep their Mirage Gate because they're probably going to get Eeried out of the hand. I want to have as many as I can. I play the Pokégear, hoping to hit a Colress, but I miss, and just bench a couple Pokemon and pass. I'm hoping that the Sinnoh also buys a free turn, because I know they probably have double turbo in their hand, but they throw down the vacuum right away and have a perfect card to get rid of with it. Because they're not going to need the Devo in this matchup. We get Iono'd luckily because we weren't drawing anything anytime soon. Now I can retreat into a Comfey at least. Grab one, and then retreat into it because I can't knock Greninja because the Iron Thorns shuts off Rulebox Pokemon abilities. And I opt to Flower Select first because I want to save the Nest Ball for something else, but I should have checked my prizes there. I was kinda, I don't know, rushing I guess, trying to play a little faster, didn't check the prizes, and I prized 2 Water Energy, so it kind of kills the plan of this deck. I can't attack with Articuno now, and luckily I don't get rid of the Cram, because I was thinking at this point I'm gonna need to attack with Cram next turn. My hand's real dead. I can Cram into Sableye. This is a matchup where I can just take 6 prizes with regular attacks if I can start soon enough. And if I didn't get rid of the Cram, I'd have to wait till I got 10 in the Lost Zone to even get an attack off. But luckily we get judged into a Colress finally. So now I can Artazon and just put one of these guys on my bench. and I see that the water's prized now, and I'm like, oh no. So now I'm probably just going to want to get a Comfey instead. Or a Sableye, just to back-to-back Sableyes. So that's going to be my main attacker at this point. I need the vacuum, because this tool card, the fan that moves an energy, it like lets it move an energy off my active onto one of my bench Pokemon, would get really annoying. I have to take the Switch Cart here. I can vacuum away the tool and play my Mirage Gate. I play the Pokégear first. I'm like really conscious of the Eerie. I'm assuming they play like 1 or 2, and that's definitely like, if he has it in his hand in this matchup, he's gonna just play it. So I'm like playing all the items preemptively. I wouldn't normally like play it quite like this. And I go to grab Water Dark right away, because that is like the plan with the deck. But I grab Water Psychic instead, because at least I'll have the water on there for later, and I'm not going to need a Dark Energy to move damage counters for quite a while. I could have set up a retreat on a Comfey, but I opt to just put the extra energy on the Articuno. They flip heads on Crushing Hammer. I was hoping that they were going to be afraid of the Articuno attack and discard it from that, but they're not. They recognize that Sableye will knock them out, so they need to get rid of that energy first. But I can like Super Rod all my Psychics back in the deck, and a Comfey Artazon for the Comfey, and like Flower Selecting Switch and play Roxanne next turn, which is pretty nice. A Future Capsule the bench, that's also a good sign. They can't put like any weird tools on it that like negate paralysis. This deck isn't really common, so people aren't planning for paralysis, which is why it like works right now. I'll just send up the Comfey, and my other Comfey is prized, I believe, so I have to shuffle one of those in the deck. And I do 2 Psychics. I need to hit a Psychic energy off of like Roxanne or one of the Flower Selectings. I take the Switch Cart so I can play both those before the Roxanne. And I just check real quick to make sure that like I haven't gotten rid of all my other Super Rods or anything, but play the Switch, Flower Selecting, and switch again. I hit the Mirage Gate, so now I can just grab the Psychic right out of the deck and put a Dark on my Munkidori preemptively. And switch into Sableye and Roxanne. I also needed a Comfey twice to get to Sableye. I don't remember if I said that or not. So this is nice. Like, this deck that they're playing should be really clunky. So I'm hoping that they brick a little bit. And I don't attach the energy because I know they have Crushing Hammers. And I might want to put it on the active, like if they go Eerie, Crushing Hammer, because, I don't know, that's just the kind of stuff that happens sometimes. And they attach. They must play like a lot of energies to like draw into an energy off of Roxanne with that many cards in deck, and they do get the Eerie. That's kind of what I was afraid of, but I'm not super worried about it at this point, because I have the water in my hand. So I don't really need any of the item cards anyway. I can just attach and like put a Munkidori on the bench and paralyze them. I was thinking about grabbing another Articuno, but I need to like Super Rod and Mirage Gate to it, so I might as well wait to do that. And now we've finally achieved the goal of paralyzing them, and you see how this works. Now I can move all the damage off with the Munkidori onto the active and basically never knock myself out and like paralyze them indefinitely. They get rid of the Lost City. That's kind of a relief. Hopefully they're not going to be attacking again this matchup, but if they got that earlier, that would have been really annoying. And they boss, which is a little bit irritating, but that's fine. I can just like attach the Dark and move the damage, then retreat the Dark off and paralyze again. I could Colress for a switch, but I don't know. There's only 9 cards in deck. I don't really want to Colress if I don't need to. I have a Mirage Gate in my hand. I can get the Darkness energy back, or I could even just like top deck it maybe. And now I'm going to be able to hit them for 70, and then next turn I could knock them out with the 2 Munkidori abilities, and then paralyze the bench guys, so like it's kind of like a perfect loop where they never even get a chance, but they're annoyed by the paralysis, I'm guessing, and they just concede. I don't blame them. This deck is probably extremely annoying to play against, but let's get to the next game. Alright, so my opponent won the coin flip and made us go first. Switch Cart Water, I keep the water, I can Nest Ball for Greninja and draw 2. There is a bit of a debate on what is correct in this situation, to get another Comfey or get the Greninja. I just get the Greninja because you get to keep both cards. I don't know, it's just an easier choice. You're already making like enough hard decisions with Lost Box. And you want to establish Greninja anyway in most matchups. It's just nice to have, but I was hoping to draw like a Buddy PAF or a Nest Ball off of that, but I don't, so I can just pass. And if I get, what, 3 flower selectings, I can Mirage Gate next turn, I think. So that would be 4, Colress is 5, 6, yeah, and then I can vacuum for 7. They're going to use the generator, they're taking a bit. They only hit 1, that's pretty good for us. We really don't want to see them get 2 off of that and then be able to like Iron Hands us turn 1. And we get a free turn, that's like pretty rare against this deck. So I'll start off with Colress. I could Nest Ball for the other Comfey first, but I opt to Colress because there's a chance that I could hit Buddy PAF in, and I do. So now I can save the Nest Ball for something else. I should probably keep the Bravery Charm just because, I don't know, the way that this matchup's going, I maybe don't even need to use Sableye at all, so I don't need it. I have another one. This is one of the Lost Zone decks that still plays 2. It's like a rare, easy, Comfey decision. And Switch Cart is definitely the card that I wanted. Now if I could just get like Nest Ball or Artazon. I get Scoop Up Cyclone, which is pretty nice because I just kind of slammed down 2 Comfeys when I didn't really need to. And now I can clean up my bench a little bit. For some reason I was like thinking that I had to get 3 flower selectings off that turn. And I want to leave room for like 2 Munkidoris that I can totally heal the Articuno, and now I have a free card to Lost Vacuum with the Comfey. So now I can just Mirage Gate, get 1, and I can put a Dark like for Retreat or maybe just onto Greninja. I don't know. I kind of just have to. I wanted to thin out the deck to try and hit Nest Ball or an Artazon to get the Munkidori, so now I can just get Water Dark. I have a bunch of extra dark energies in this situation anyway, so now I can start the paralysis loop. Now one thing to note with this deck is you really want to knock out the Pokemon that you're paralyzing on your turn so they're forced to send up a new target. So like that's probably the trickiest part about the deck is figuring out the math. Like this is pretty easy with Miraidon because I can just hit 3 times, it'll have 210 damage on it, and then move like 10 damage and knock it out. But it's just something to be careful of. And I get kind of the perfect Colress there, where I could establish another Monkey and just move all the damage off to like the benched Iron Hands, because I'm guessing that that's going to be in the active at some point if they ever find a Switch card or anything. And I put 30 damage on it. That might not be correct, but I'm kind of thinking that I can just pile up damage on it over time and then make it so like, yeah, see, I'm like kind of counting right now, trying to figure it out. So I move the damage to the Miraidon instead, because the 70 that I attack into the Iron Hands is going to put it at 100. Or is there 2 damage on it? Whatever, you guys get the idea. But now, next turn, I'm going to move the 20 off of this because I want to full heal it every turn. And then I'm going to make them promote something. It's kind of like boring once it gets going, but it's like pretty cool loop. And I saw this, like the guy that thought of this is pretty smart. He must have fun trolling people right now with this deck. He's also been doing, I probably talked about this already in the intro, but yeah, I don't know how long they want to stick around. They kind of bricked, like, I don't know, this is usually fine for Miraidon because they're still attacking. Like, they basically established 3 attackers already. Ooh, they can finally do something, and they seem to have forgotten about the double turbo. Oh boy. I don't know, this is like the first game I played with the deck, and I was like, oh man, this deck's broken. But after, like, the games I've played since, it's like a typical Lost Zone deck without, whenever it doesn't have the V's and the Forest Seal Stone in it, it seems like the deck just feels a million times less consistent. Just the consistency that Forest Seal Stone adds, like it's just a 5th Colress out. And I don't know if this deck is serious or not. It might be like a meta call kind of thing where if no one's playing switching cards, you could just like get people with this. I tried to make it as consistent as possible. With also still like including all the cards you need. Like you need the Sinnoh to be able to shut off the therapy energies, I think it is, that blocks sleep, and 2 vacuums for the ancient tools. I don't know, there's definitely a couple of bad matchups, but anything that doesn't play switches, and if you can get the combo off early enough, like, you're probably going to win the game. I did have one game against Dragapult where I would have won, but I ran out of cards in my deck. Like, it took me so long just to get the combo that I decked myself out, and I was already down 2 Super Rod just from awkward, comfy decisions. So, I don't know. Definitely a cool deck. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun, and take care.